up YouTube? How you feeling? How you living? What's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Monday. It's Music Monday, and today is Top 100s Day. We're the first Monday of the month, and this one is a doozy. Now I know I've been going for a minute. I'm just going to address it for a second. I'm going to try not to go like 2-3 weeks without putting up videos. I know the inconsistency doesn't really help with my channel growing, but y'all have been coming out. I'm at 600 subscribers, well past 600 subscribers now, and I do appreciate all of y'all, so thank y'all for sticking around and not just, you know, being like, girl, what the hell is you doing? So I do appreciate y'all. And so let's get into today's video, which is about After the Gold Rush by Neil Young, which is the third album on the Top 100 list by Billboard. Now, these albums so far, I've only done 3, have been kind of interesting, right? So first we have Marvin Gaye, right? I already said definitely deserving. Leonard Cohen, someone I had never really heard of before, but that album was very good. And then we have Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. Now, unlike Leonard Cohen, I know who Neil Young is. I know Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. I've heard of that band. I've heard songs from that band. As well as Buffalo Springfield, which I believe Neil Young was also a part of that band as well. And I'm a fan of both. But to be quite honest, I don't think I've ever heard any songs by Neil Young himself. So this was an interesting, you know, venture to get into. And so this album, I would say, unlike the other 2 albums, is a variety pack, right? Like Marvin Gaye's album, I would say, kind of had a story. It kind of went together, it was very cohesive. Leonard Cohen's sound is pretty, all his songs are pretty similar in sound, though, you know, lyrically and, you know, tonally they may be different. But Neil Young, he can go from country to folk to rock to, like, I was like, where are we? So I do, spoiler, I do enjoy this album. And in regards to it being in the top 100, I can see why. I mean, like I said, Neil Young is a very prominent person in rock and roll, folk music, from being in like 2 major bands that I'm sure after I named them, you knew exactly who they were. And, you know, now having a prolific career on his own. And this album definitely made me understand a lot about him as a musician, which, you know, was very nice. So let's get into my review of After the Gold Rush by Neil Young. Okay, so the first song on this album is Tell Me Why. And to be quite honest, this song had grown on me. I'll be honest, I didn't really like it. It gave me country music feels, which I'm not a huge country fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will listen to literally anything else. But I've started listening to country now that I live in the country. And I can kind of dig it a little bit, like, you know, some of it. And this isn't too far country. You know what I mean by too far country. So I could kind of appreciate the sound. Now, in researching this album, one thing became very clear that Neil Young does not remember a lot about making this album. Because my guy was apparently high as hell, okay? When he wrote, he did an interview about this song, and he says he doesn't perform it anymore because he does not, what he's saying in this song, in his opinion, is gibberish. He thought that it was gibberish, it made no sense, and that he really does not know what the hell he's talking about. Which I find to be extremely hilarious because, you know, people, of course, are huge fans of this album. It's a top 100, and he like, look, I wasn't really saying nothing. Which I find to be hilarious because, like, we add such, like, prolific meaning to words that, like, the artist probably isn't putting prolific meaning to. So, you know, but like I said, I had to grow on this one. It's not my favorite, but, you know, it's a good opener. And then the next song is, of course, After the Gold Rush, which is the title song. I did like this one. I thought it had very interesting lyrics, and when I first listened to it, because I listened to it before I looked up the like, you know, stuff about the album, I thought, you know, it was very insightful. It talks about nature and, you know, how we're treating the earth and things like that. And then here comes Mr. Neil Young saying, I don't remember nothing about this. I'm gonna quote him directly. He said he doesn't know the meaning of the song because he was so high. No, he said it depends on what he was taking at the time. So I guess them shrooms was just making him think, woo, like, I don't know. But again, it's so funny when we put like prolific meaning to a song and they like, look, I just wrote the words. I guess it makes sense. That's gonna be a very constant thing in this album review. But yes, After the Gold Rush is definitely a very beautiful song, regardless of the meaning that you may put to it. I like the harmonies. I like, you know, the feeling of the song. It gave me very folk. I put in my notes, it's similar to how I felt when I was listening to Leonard Cohen's album, of kind of that like good metaphoric, having deeper meaning than it says. But again, seem like it does. But it definitely was a very good title song to me. And the next song on this album is Only Love Can Break Your Heart. Only Love Can Break Your Heart. And I really like this song. It's a very cute love song. And it's you know, it has good lyrics. It has a very simple kind of style to it. You know, it's a couple lines for the verse, and then there's a very simple chorus. And I think that I like, one thing I didn't mention so far is like Neil Young, if you know his voice, it's not what someone traditionally say is like a good voice, i.e. like he has kind of a nasally kind of voice that kind of fits in this song when you listen to like the harmonies behind him, and it kind of gives this like sharp feel to like a very melodic chorus and verse, which I really like. And in researching again for this album, I found out that this song was apparently about Graham Nash after he broke up with Joni Mitchell, who I love me some Joni Mitchell, okay? So I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know there was, I actually had no idea they were together. I guess it was really, apparently a short-lived relationship, but that was very interesting to know that it came from that. But again, this is a very cute little love song. I did save this one because I like this song. It's very simple, but it, you know, it's a good song. Then the next song, Southern Man. Okay, wow. So I'm listening to this album. Let's go to when I'm listening to this album. I'm listening to this album. I'm at the laundromat, right? I'm waiting for my clothes to dry. So I'm just sitting there like, okay, I like it so far. It gives me very folk. It gives me very, you know, gives me feels of like Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. Actually, it gives me those feels. And then this song come on, and I'm like, whoa. Even before we got to the lyrics, it was totally completely different from every other song so far. Like I said, the first song was kind of country. The second two songs were a lot more folk sounding, very, very chill songs. And then this one came on with the guitar, and I was like, girl, whoa. And then the lyrics come in, and you like, oh, we going there, okay? If you've never heard of the song Southern Man, it is essentially stating that the Southern man, you know, remember where you came from. Remember how you got here, which is essentially from black people. And he wanted that smoke. He wanted that smoke. I'm gonna give y'all some lyrics to this one. Okay, so right from the jump, we come off with Southern man, better keep your head. Don't forget what your good book said. Southern change gonna come at last. No, now your crosses are burning fast. Oh. Okay. And it's a lot. And when I researched this song, because I had to know, like, where did this song come from? What, like, because, you know, as a black person who lives in the South currently, yeah, I mean, I get it, and it's definitely true. I don't know if I'm saying something controversial by saying that, but like, especially when this was made, this album came out in the 70s, so even though civil rights era kind of passed, but not really, it was still very prominent and still very necessary, because even though Jim Crow was gone, it was still a lot of racial tension, still a lot of issues going on at the time. And so I get kind of where that was coming from. It was because it was in the beginning of the 70s, so, you know, it's still fresh, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to look up this, like, where did this come from? And he kind of retracted a little bit, because one thing I did find out is that apparently Sweet Home Alabama by Leonard Skinner was after this song, and they made a note about Neil Young and about the Southern man thing, and they were kind of upset about what he was saying because it seemed like he was being accusatory by what, you know, some people standards, and even he said, you know, the lyrics came off kind of harsh, they were kind of accusatory in nature. And though I can somewhat agree with that, I think especially for the time that it came out, yeah, I think it was necessary. That's just me. You can say whatever you say, but I thought this song was very interesting. It had a really good guitar solo in it, not just from the lyrics, but the guitar, like the guitar was good. Like the whole song was a complete transition from almost everything else in this album, which was very interesting because I was not expecting that at all. Like I said, I've heard Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, I've heard Buffalo Springfield, and I know that they have kind of rock songs, like harder rock songs and like folk, but I wasn't expecting this, okay? And like I said, I mean, now he did an interview in 2019 and he was talking about, no, either 2019 or 2020. I can't remember when he did this interview, but he was talking about, you know, this song is more prominent now because it's not just a Southern man, it's the whole country. Like this whole country is pretty much building off of the backs of people of color and, you know, not treating them very well and, you know, police brutality and everything like that. So it seems like he may have thought he came off a little harsh, but he still felt the message was necessary. So it is what it is. And I do enjoy this song, irregardless of how you feel about the lyrics. The song in and of itself is a good song to me, okay? So the next song is Till the Morning Comes, and this is pretty much like an interlude. So one thing I didn't mention in the last two albums that it's very necessary to understand the placement of the songs in the whole album is that, you know, back in the day, okay, to my youngins out there and myself, because I wasn't alive then, but back in the day there was records. So you had a side A, you had a side B. This is the end of side A, and a lot of the albums that I talked about, the two albums I talked about before that, kind of also had a placement of like how their songs were in the progression to be a side A and a side B. So this is the end of side A, and it was kind of like a closure for this whole part, and it's a pretty simple song. It's like 2 lyrics. And I liked it though. I thought it was cute. It was a cute little song to kind of end the side A. So like if you're listening to it, you can kind of like ease into the next side, right? So that's Till the Morning Comes. And then the next song is Oh Lonesome Me. I really like this song. And then I found out that this was a cover of a song by Don Gibson, who I have no idea who that was until today. But he's a country singer, and if you listen to that version and you listen to this version is a billion times better. That version gives me very country, okay? But this one I like better. It's very, like, Oh Lonesome Me is talking about, you know, losing someone, right? Like, you know, it's about, oh, I'm so lonely, I'm so alone. Okay, right? Oh Lonesome Me. And this song definitely gives that vibe. It gives the vibe of, you know, being alone and being woeful, and like, you know, it gives that vibe. I like Neil Young's voice in this song because, again, he has that kind of melodic voice that kind of goes with this. And I think the lyrics are very relatable. I like the background harmonies, as well as, you know, the feeling. You get lovesick. You get like, woe is me. You get that from the song. And I think it, like, when you can feel something from a song with the way the person sings it and the lyrics, that makes a really good song. So I really like this song. I think it's a very good start to the other side of the album. Next song is Don't Let It Bring You Down. And I thought this song sounded familiar. And I was like, where the hell have I heard this song? Apparently Annie Lennox did a version of this song, and I think I heard her version because it was apparently in American Beauty, and I probably heard it by just listening to her because I love me some Annie Lennox. Love me some Annie Lennox. But I like his version as well, which is the original, if I'm not mistaken. And I like this version as well, but it's a lot more acoustic than Miss Lennox did. And it is a very good song. The lyrics are, again, very relatable, and I like the sound of this one. And the next song is Birds, which is probably my favorite song on this album, mainly because, somewhat like Southern Man, this one is completely different, but in a completely different way. Like, this song is like strangely beautiful in a sea of like kind of songs that are love and, well, like, you know, kind of talking about, this talks about loss. and it's so like beautiful in a way of like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like if you have to listen to the song. I try not to put songs in my top 100s, because if I get copyrighted in every album review I do, I would never get any money. But I might put a clip in here of just a song, because I like the way that it sounds. It has like a sound that, I'm not gonna lie, I cried a little. Like it was very beautiful, like eerily beautiful.
It's over.
And the lyrics were very touching, and his voice again very much leaned itself to the piano that was being played. It's just a really beautiful song in a sea of like kind of chill songs, but not like, I don't know, it doesn't evoke that kind of emotion. Like, oh lonesome man, oh lonesome me gave you lovesick. It gave you like, oh woe is me. This one gave you like, I'm sad. Like I'm actually sad, and you can feel that in the song. So it's a very beautiful song. Like I said, it might be my favorite on the album, to be quite honest. And the next song is When You Dance, I Can Really Love. I don't know what the hell that means, but I felt like I heard this song before, and I think that I might have heard like a classic rock. It gives me classic rock station, because apparently this is one of the singles from this album. It gives me very classic rock station. It gives me very kind of like, I'm in a bar, and in a dive bar somewhere and having a beer, and yeah, when you dance it, I can really love, like, you know. And you know, that's fine, but it's not my favorite, but it is something that I can see myself listening to, just, you know, out and about. And then the next song is Believe in You, and this is another one where I want to kind of say the lyrics. It says, now that you made yourself love me, do you think I can change it in a day? It's like, why? But this one wasn't really my cup of tea, to be quite honest. But I can understand why it's a likable song, and you know, it's kind of like you can I believe you when you say you love me type song, and that's, you know, pretty common. And you know, love songs, like, you know, look, if you're saying it, I need you to really be meaning it, right? And then the last song on this album is Cripple Creek Ferry. Yeah, Cripple Creek Ferry. This gives me very Sailor Song. It gives me very saloon. It gives me where, oh, yo ho ho on the bottom of rum type song to me. And it's pretty simple as well, being it's the last song on the album. And you know, it kind of ends on an interesting note. So that is my review of this album. And in researching for this album, I found out that apparently it was inspired by a screenplay of the same name that never got made, and Mr. Young made this album in 3 weeks. And as we've already established, he was a little turned up during the making, which, you know, I can't judge. That sometimes you got to get to your muse from a little help, right? But that's all I got for y'all today. Like I said, I'll be back to regular scheduled programming, so expect a video on Wednesday and 2 on Friday, because I had a video that was supposed to go up last Friday, and look, we working on it, okay? So we're gonna have 2 for Friday, and then for the rest of this week, we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. I mean, rest of this month, regularly scheduled programming. But I do thank y'all for sticking around, and thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Bye.